Remember last week when I said that this new Star Wars trailer blows, and I hate that we don't know anything about the story, or the plot, or the characters, really? Turns out I'm the only one who thinks that, as the internet has decided that this new trailer is Jesus. And if they think that, that's fine, that's absolutely okay. But it's led to a series of people doing speculation videos on where the plot's going to go, where the story's going to go, and I am now going to give my thoughts and my stories and my plot speculations in my Kevin Talks About Star Wars Episode 7 plot speculation, something like that. But without further ado, let's start off with where I think this movie begins. I think the movie will open with that ice battle we see at the beginning of this newest trailer. I think that's actually the opening. A lot of people are afraid that that is the end of the movie and they're just going to repeat Star Wars where it's like, here comes all the good guys on a big trench fight. I actually think it's the opposite. I think the scenes that were shot in Ireland that we see in the trailer, that's the climax. I think the snow battle is the opening of the movie, as everyone sort of is going off trying to attack this new base formed by the First Order, who I think have not been around for 30 years. I don't think it's the war has just continued. I think it's that at some point in Finn and Rey's lifetime, the Empire sort of became the First Order and started attacking again and gained a new power in the form of the Knights of Ren. And what I think it goes from there is that we find out that Rey is actually Luke's daughter, and that during the First Order Rising, she had to be taken away. She needed to be safe, and she's been hiding out in Jakku ever since, which I think is where the film also picks up with John Boyega, who is a stormtrooper, who after the assault, there's some sort of battle or something that tells him that the First Order is insane and he's got to get out, and he betrays them, and I think he's going to rescue a captured Poe Dameron. Many people have brought up the jacket that shows up everywhere in these trailers, making me wonder if maybe the jacket is the key to the Force! Okay, it's not. It's just a jacket, but it's a cool looking jacket. I want it. And I think from there we're going to see what the original plot speculation for this movie was. The first rumor to Star Wars Episode 7 was that it's going to be about two young people who discover Luke Skywalker's original lightsaber, find Han, and then go on a journey to find Luke. I think elements of that are going to be in this final product, as it looks like Finn and Rey are going to go on a journey with Han Solo. And I think that's a big part of it, is that Finn and Rey discover something about the First Order, some way to stop them, maybe a new thing, and they need to find Luke and tell him so they can get a strategy going, which is when they run into Han and Chewie. I don't think that their role will be uber big in this movie. I still think the movie will be about Finn and Rey, and I think Poe Dameron is going to be like the Han Solo, sort of like the guy who's sort of thrown in the middle, the everyday man, and I think it's going to be about Finn as he realizes he has Force abilities, and maybe Rey as she has to come into her own somehow. I still think it's John Boyega's movie. I think he's going to be where things pick up. I think Finn will be the new main character. I just hope that it's not some sort of annoying prequels thing where the perspective of the movie keeps changing, where one minute's about Anakin, that's about Obi-Wan, that's about Qui-Gon. Make the film about one person. It still needs to be a hero's journey. You can have the other character be important and have a strong arc, just like Han did alongside with Luke. But I don't want this sort of idea that it's about these two people and it's sort of just too much. Make it about one of them. I think Rey is where everything revolves around because she's Luke's daughter, but I don't think that it's about two people. I think it's about one person. I think it's about Finn and how he gets thrown into this new world of the Jedi and the Force. Speaking of which, Kylo Ren, the one everyone's talking about in that he's fucking everywhere. I think Kylo Ren is going to turn out to be Han and Leia's son. I think his name is going to be Kylo Solo, and I think he got tempted by the dark side. Maybe he's got a little bit of his grandfather in them, and that made him obsess over Vader, which we also have suspected is a long-time involvement. When he found other followers of the Sith principles and teachings, they formed this new order of evil Jedi, the Knights of Ren, and teamed up with Snoke and all of these people who are trying to start off a new empire and retake over. I think that basically that's sort of how the film will go, because it's very easy, it's very simple. Star Wars isn't supposed to be complicated, it's not supposed to be political. It's supposed to be this grand space adventure about heroes and villains. We see a lot now that they're trying to make it look like there is no good and evil, there's just different perspectives. You can do that, but it needs to always come back to that simple form. Kylo Ren is evil, Finn is good, and he needs to be stopped. You can make it into an arc, you can make it into a multiple movie arc, but make this movie be simple. The reason Return of the Jedi and Empire work is because they had the first film to set up and they were able to continue and build upon everything. This needs to be that. This needs to be simple and a story-building movie and make it feel like its own movie. Don't just be sequel setup. Don't Amazing Spider-Man 2 or Avengers Age of Ultron this. It is one cohesive movie from start to finish, and then lead stuff to be for sequels. Obviously, Kylo Ren will probably be in multiple movies, but just keep everything straightforward. And that's what I think. I know this isn't much of a thing, but there's not a ton to talk about, and we won't be able to talk about for another month, about 2 months. Then we'll get to see this movie, and we'll get to judge things from there. We'll be able to talk about how wrong I am. But in the comment section below, give me your thoughts on Star Wars Episode 7, what you think is going to happen, what you want to see happen, and what you can see going on with these characters. And as always, click to like and click to subscribe for any more Star Wars stuff that I choose to talk about.